Hello, my treasures. It's time to get a bit funky with a Murloc Paladin in Hearthstone Twist. Because of the sets in the new age format, there is a surprisingly amount of Paladin exclusive Murloc, which can both abuse the Divine Shield synergy that we have in these sets and the random generation from having only exclusively class cards, making this deck a lot stronger than it ever has been while it was currently in rotation. For the Mulligan guide of the deck, you are going to be looking for early game minions. MURGUR is an incredibly good turn 2 play, and it allows you to have a late game advantage, where in theory you should be able to get additional copies of himself off of his prime version. Other things to look out for are draw power cards such as a Hand of the Dull, or weapons such as Underlight Angling a Rod, as this will allow you to have even more minions that you can slam down and activate Murloc synergy. Now, with that all being said, let's look at some game. Okay, time for a game against Priest. Let's see what they have in store for us. I know there's a miracle deck that's been floating around that's really cool. The funny thing is, though, while it counteracts the wacky Mage decks, it doesn't really do that good against like anything that isn't Mage, from the little bit of testing I did with it. Just going to slam down the Knight of Atonement. I'm curious if this is going to be an Overheal list. Maybe? Maybe it is just Miracle. Alright, let's buff this up and get rid of that minion. I do not want to deal with it. There's Shard of the Naru. Shuffled back into the deck. Clergy. Okay, so it is probably going to be an Overheal deck. They're going to probably, yeah, draw a card there. Do we have an easy way to remove that from the board? I don't think we do this turn. We can use Bronze Explorer, which is probably what we'll end up doing. We could also slam down this and that. Bronze Explorer probably would have been better in the long run, but having 2 minions down instead of 1 is pretty decent because they're one's more likely to survive in this matchup, I would assume. Sure, Shard of the Naru. Oof. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe neither of our minions are going to survive. Can we top deck a weapon? That is not a weapon, but that does get rid of their minion if we hero power. Let's order in the court. That grabs carry all. We'll use reinforce. They're going to be able to heal their minion back up to full, and we can't do anything about it. Lightsteed. Oh, that's an interesting card. Oh man, I remember I had a Elemental Priest deck way, like super early on my channel. It did actually pretty decent, if I remember right. Using Lightsteed and a bunch of the other cards similar to it. That's a really cool tech card. Like, this is a style of deck that I would love to revisit. I mean, wouldn't be really revisiting it because I haven't done anything with it, or at least with Overheal, but it is a really neat idea. I'm assuming they won't be able to finish us off this turn, hopefully, please. I would like to survive at least an additional turn. Oh, Bless is going to bless us out of this game, or Clear Conscience, I guess. Okay, a 17-17 that we can't target with spells that we don't actually run in the deck, so, you know, it isn't that big of a deal. We do have the coin, though. The coin does allow us to instantly say goodbye to that Lightsteed. Forgot they had the second copy of that. Okay, so we have an 8-8. We could just Wail their face. Wailing their face probably is the safest bet. But I really want to get rid of this minion. We're 1 mana off of what I really want to do. And this isn't going to work how I want it to work. Oh, actually, never mind. This is going to work exactly how I want it because it gets the attack after it gets the Divine Shield. Never mind. Oh, man. There's the Crimson Clergy. They're going to draw a card. I think we're just going to slam their face, to be honest, next turn. And then use the second dragon. Yeah, overextend a little bit more, please. Make our life a little bit easier by accidentally removing enough space from the board. Come on. Fill it up. More. Oh, man. We were so close to perfection, yet so far. Alright, say goodbye to your minions again, and they'll be back in 2 turns. We don't have lethal next turn, but we have 8 damage plus. So we either use Cariel, so they have a second Heartthrob, because why wouldn't they have a second Heartthrob at this point? Maybe that is a deck that I'll cover on the channel for Twist. Because this deck looks really fun. I don't know who came up with it, if it's their original idea or whatnot, but it looks really cool. I think we are just trying to rush damage into their face. Because they're going to be at 5, and then they have 4 on board. So most likely we did get rid of the 17/17, because that should be summoned back towards the end. Though if they clear out our 8/8 with their minions, then maybe that won't be the case. They're synchronizing into that. I'm assuming they probably have a shadow spell in hand if they're going to do it there. I feel like they've completely forgot what minions they have on board and what minions they don't have on board. They're going to heal their face, maybe. Okay, they're up to 13. We have 8. Wait. They're going to be 1 off of lethal here. Perfect for us. Wait, are we going to be 1 off of lethal is the problem. They have no taunts. Attacking first is probably a bad idea. Use both of the sermons, get up to 10 attack, and then, oh, we can't do that. Well, you can get rid of one of their minions, and then I guess go face. We're 1 off of lethal, which sucks. We would have been 1 off lethal no matter what. I am kind of happy that I did not. I think I briefly thought about using the 3-drop weapon there, but I realized that would have just put us at a huge disadvantage, so I ended up not doing it. Fan club, they really were hoping for some type of taunt, because now they have to clear everything out. They got rid of their 17/17. Everything's coming up. Not for once. Less for 9 damage. You could say we're the ones truly blessed this day. Alright, time for a game against Druid. It's probably going to be Questline, which is going to be annoying as hell to deal with. But the nice thing is, this deck actually kind of counteracts Questline Druid. Probably only going to keep the Bronze Explorer and MURGUR. MURGUR is a really good turn 2 play, and Bronze Explorer is good turn 3, better than Funkfin, which eventually comes up, but it doesn't come up on turn, because we don't have any else or other Divine Shields besides MURGUR here. Now, if we could get the weapon that gives all your minions Divine Shield once you attack 3 or 4 times, and then we could have easily... Ooh, that is a really nice turn 3 play. And it is actually Questline. But like I was saying before, we kind of have the spicy counter of Questline Druid being Cariel. Though sadly, with the Mage combo decks that exist, Cariel does absolutely nothing for it. Is a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. I know there's a real fun, like, Miracle Priest deck that basically counters that deck completely by stealing their entire hand. Who knows? Maybe I'll do that next week. We'll see. I'll have to look what people have been doing for Twist. See if it's been covered on any channel. Clam down the Explorer. Going for the 7-drop, because it is always nice when... So, Questline Druid doesn't have that many big minions. However, this does allow us to get rid of their board without actually killing the board, and thus scaling up their attack even further, or their armor gain each turn even further than before. I am a little bit worried that they're going to be able to complete the questline before we can slam something like Cariel down, but hopefully we draw into something like Order in the Court pretty soon here. Yeah, that definitely is not what we want to see. Probably use the Rod. We'll attack here, which is a kind of a mistake. We probably should have just let our hero take the damage there. And boy, oh boy, that is definitely one of the worst Murlocs that we could get. Though, I will say, randomly generating cookie when you have Carol down on the board, it is a much, much worse experience than this. Rhyme and Roots. Interesting card choice. There isn't any Treant support currently in this rotation, right? The Treant support that I'm thinking of is from Descent of Dragons, right? There was like a one-off card there. Oh, a Greybog deck would be fun. We could do something maybe there. There's actually a few Druid decks that could be fun that aren't the Questline. There was a brief Guardian Animal deck that I tested out very, very briefly, which was halfway decent. Sizing Pouch, just going to get the perfect answer, aren't they? I also do find it funny that I don't think Questline Druid is running Guff, which is a card that I'm actually really, really shocked that not every Druid deck is just running. Yeah, we might as well just go face to heal up. Shift. Okay, now we have a few next turn plays. The first thing we could do is slam down Carriel, which prevents them from doing a bunch of damage next turn. I mean, they're still going to do a bunch of damage, but it puts us more likely out of lethal range. Because we can also trade a few times here too, to get at least rid of one of the minions. But the other thing is we could use the 7-drop dragon if we really need to, but I think the safer bet is just Carriel, because they'll have their questline complete here or next turn. Drawing into the other 7-drop, okay. Also probably should have hit one of their minions twice. Might as well go face. So they'll get rid of the minion there. They do have the questline complete. They're holding on to it. I'm assuming because they're looking for some type of answer. The nice thing about Carriel is, outside of randomly generating a cookie, they can't get rid of her weapon in this format. Now, oh boy, I wish there was a consistent way to get to Doctor, I forgot his name, that increases the attack and durability of your weapon, because that would be so funny if you could get increase on this. Actually, there was a game where I generated him and I think I got the weapon up to 4 attack. It was probably not the best game, but at the same time, it wasn't the worst game that I had with the deck. Now, that is a little bit worrisome because they can actually pop the Divine Shield on our MURGUR Prom, which we're probably going to slam down here. Oh no, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. We do not. Ooh, Cookie, you betray us, my friend. Please go back to mercenaries and be a decent mercenary there. Okay, there's Guff. Spark up the Spike Shell. So I think they missed that they could have actually got lethal here. Oh, not lethal this turn, but next turn, which is good for us. Like, it's really, really good. Don't think we have lethal here, so we're probably going to want to play it safe. If we put down both Funk Fins, slam into the Guff with the MURGUR, heal, and then because we popped the Divine Shield there, we might as well use Sermon. This will get rid of the majority of their minions. I would have preferred to get, like, rid of all. Oh, we can't actually get rid of them all. I forgot we had the weapon, too. Come on, don't go AFK. I mean, outside of hitting Hooky, it really depends on what the other 4 cards besides Cuff is, because they could, in theory, have it, but I guess they don't. Maybe that's why they went AFK. Because we definitely have lethal here. Oh, we got a little bit funky and it paid off. Okay, time for a game against Mage. Let's hope it isn't a hella OTK combo or one of the other many combo decks that Mage has access to. Just going to keep the Dragon Tamer. We only have 3 dragons in the deck, so that it's actually a pretty consistent card of what we can actually get. This opener doesn't look that bad. I know Sungil can actually be bad against Mage if they're playing some type of more standard version of a Mage deck, but if they're not, then we're in a pretty decent position because we should be able to overwhelm them early enough. Let's put down the Dragon Tamer. Knight of Atonement for the next turn is probably what we're going to do. I'm not really too worried about them slamming anything down. It really depends on what type of Mage deck this is going to be. Oh, they're just pinging our minion. That's... I wonder if they're just Hero Power Mage. That would be cool. Definitely not something that you see every day in Twist. Alright, we have a few different strategies that we could do. We could use Hand of Adol to buff that up, but I think we're just going to slam both of these down. One will be another Hand of Adola, then the other one will be Sermon, which will allow us to buff up everything here and be in a really nice position. And we're not really too worried. Oh, coin. They're actually running Fire Cell. Oh, That's just my luck, isn't it? Okay, let's use Explorer here. Golden Wing technically is probably the best if we can actually guarantee the Wind Fury, but we're going to go with the Brass Wing because if they are using some skeleton package, we can actually heal whenever they slam that down. I do find it interesting that the skeleton package kind of came back out of nowhere after people weren't really playing it. I'm curious if that was because there were just enough cards previously before rotation that could easily deal with it, or the fact that Mage in Standard hasn't really gotten that good of packages since then. I'm actually curious if that card can generate cards that are currently in rotation for this set, because Twist is a little bit weird with how it does it. I'm also curious, like in future sets, how Terra Reality is going to work too. Let's buff up a MURGUR. You know, MURGUR has been a card for, what, 4 or 5 years, and I never realized until making this deck, his name is a pun on murder. You know, they definitely are just basically a standard deck, but in Twist, I guess. Not much of a twist that they're having right about there. Okay, let's reorder the deck. This should get either... Yep, okay. And then we can get Cariel, and then slide down this Sungil. Light Show just hit our fate. I would love for a minion to stick on our board for once. Oh, Countess is actually pretty good. We can count on Countess. Frost, Terra Reality. I do want to do something with Mage in Twist. The problem is, like, all the wacky combos have already been done a billion times, so there's really no point in me trying to do one of them. That's actually the problem I run into a lot of the times. There's a lot of decks that I'm just like, other people have made them. There's no point in me doing it. That's also why I don't like getting super ahead on schedule when it comes to making content, because if I get so far ahead and someone releases the same deck idea before I get to it, then it feels like I'm just wasting my time, and then the video itself doesn't usually do good when I do it. Okay, so they really are just Skeleton Mage with a little bit of some wild cards thrown in here and there. I mean, I get it. We kind of want to slam that down. Oh, well, I mean, we we have a few plays. Brasswing could be really nice, or we could send everything into the future, or we could use Murgle Prime or MURGUR Prime. Yeah, let's just slam him down. They'll probably be able to pop the Divine Shields, but hopefully they won't be. And this is... I didn't realize MURGUR could give Murlocs that weren't from our class for some reason. It's been a long time since I've played around with this card, but it is actually kind of cool that you can get some of the other synergistic cards that are currently in rotation. when I set out to make this deck, I thought consistency-wise we would get more of the non-prime version of himself. But this is fine too. Like, as much as I would love to... Oh, that's a funny card. I don't think it's absolutely necessary that we need to get additional copies of him. Okay, there's Jitterbug. Come on, something cool. Arena is the only thing here that actually makes sense to grab. Artificer, why not? Just in case we grab something cool here. Ooh. Oh, we're frozen, so yeah. We might as well go for this. And then we can slam this down. Thinking about it, I think we actually might just have lethal. And I wasn't really paying attention to that. So we kind of just BM'd them a bit. But oh well, it is what it is. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So this deck actually shocked me of how well it turned out. Across 30 games, I had around a 60% win rate with the deck, which is much higher than I expected from a deck that is not either A big OTK combo deck, or B, a questline deck. So if you're looking for something to twist it up and twist, that isn't one of those two style of decks, this is the perfect deck for you. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.